Welcome everyone to the Lights of Miiva, episode 55. My name is Sam Lander. I have blah, 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 blah. My name is Sam Lander. I will be your GM, and I have some players.
My name is Zero. I'm playing a statue in the form of Lumi.
Hi, I'm Suda playing Risha, and she things sometimes.
Maybe.
I'm Mia, and I am playing Barreled, a ranger, new to the group, and I have an animal companion, a giant raccoon named Lucy.
I am Inter. I'm playing Crier the Monk.
And I'm Ash, and I play Eberkeet the Wizard, who prefers knowing things to doing things.
So, wizards are like that. As we left the tunnel last time, you guys were advancing to the rear in front of a giant. By giant, I mean colossal, I think was the size category. Magical metal beast. And as you were hurrying away, Bitra decided to go take this magical beast on, and got punched across the room for it, dropping her human form and returning her to her native dragon form, where she proceeded to engage the beast as a dragon, barreled, nearly shooting her, but learning quickly that she was probably not an enemy. And then the party actually helped quite a lot to this even fight between a dragon and a magical beast. It pretty much just overwhelmed the magical beast. And you guys then talked with Bitra a bit, left the tunnel, came out to the surface. After some more conversations with Bitra and the name of the character, who I'm going to say as soon as I find it, Iris. There we go. After having a conversation with Bitra and Iris, Bitra commanded Iris to block off the entrance so that nothing else like that could come out. You guys met up a little bit with the bad basilisks, where our friend Brunhild went back with her former companions, or her current companions. And you guys decided to go fix Lumi. So you went into the castle ward and got to a temple of Basima, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong. And pulled Lumi out of a box. And the head priest, who Marius, I believe is what I named him, spends a few minutes. Oh, right, we ended on a cliffhanger. So Zari pulled Lumi out of the box. There was a bit of momentary tipping before finally she's able to woman handle the statue into place. The floor being a little bit well, it's even here. The cave being uneven, and so the footing not being very secure, and Lumi not having learned the first rule of turning into a statue, which is end your turn in the fetal position. I mean,
Noted.
It's a delicious and dungeon reference, but nobody else is gonna. Well, somebody else might get that, but anyway, you guys get Lumi stabilized, and the priest that does a couple of inspections, make sure all of the bits are attached to Lumi, and goes, good job. Not gonna need to have any missing hands or arms or noses regrown. All of his equipment seems to be attached, and there's just the small matter of the donation. I might I suggest 1,000 brass would be sufficient. It's a expensive material component and specialized magic, and looks between all of you. He pointedly ignores you, Risha.
Oh, sorry. Let me say it a little louder then. That's freaking highway robbery! 1,000 freaking brass. My princess dress costs less than that.
He looks at your outfit. I don't... Okay. If you are unable to come up with the funds at this time, you may leave him here until you are able to source the necessary funds. We will make sure he's protected.
No, I'm sure we have it. Lumi... Oh, wait.
Do we?
You just got paid.
I think Lumi had everything else other than what we just got paid. Zari, pay the man, I guess. We need our friend back. I don't want to put him back in that box. That was a pain.
Zari reaches for the funds that... Now, question, Suda. For Suda, well, and for Risha, I suppose. Does Zari still have all 1,000 of that? Or did you purloin a little bit along the way?
Yes.
So Zari would reach, get the money that she had left, and then quietly hold her hand out to you for the remainder. Wait a minute. You said yes, you left it with her, or yes, you stole it from her?
Yes.
Very specific.
Risha sighs and grabs Gaius and shakes it out of his mouth and hands it over. Fine.
Risha then collects the money, hands it over. The guy, the other person, not the head priest, but the other one, makes a bit of a warding symbol, holding up his holy amulet to, in the direction of you and Gaius. And the head priest then goes behind into a cabinet, pulls out, I believe it's diamond dust, which is a necessary, which, small rant, diamond dust is just carbon. Anywho, never mind. Sam Lander has a mad at D&D, but that's not anyway, that's not okay. Continuing on. Pulls a small thing of diamond dust out, and walks over to Lumi and gently, like, touching Lumi's arm, cast the spell, and you see Lumi's flesh reappear from the point of the touch out across his body, and then basically fades out. Well, welcome back, Lumi. You are now where you don't know where you are.
Yeah, so last he knew, he was in danger, so he's going to cast Produce Flame and fling it at whatever's directly in front of him.
Can I get a D8 roll from you, please? Two, Cryor.
Yes.
Well, you got a ball of fire going from Lumi to you. Lumi, roll your attack for that, please. 21 hit you.
No.
Okay. That it
No,
does.
doesn't hit.
It doesn't?
It does.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. So take 11 points of fire damage, please, as the scorching ball of fire erupts from Lumi, striking Cryor as he's diving out of the way, and then there's just like this pause. Lumi, you realize after you have launched your fireball that you're standing in a fairly well-appointed office type room. The walls are cold and kind of a light-colored stone. Floor is nicely carpeted. There's some shelving units. There's a startled looking man wearing robes, holding a holy symbol out as a ward. There's an older man also wearing robes with a small bag of something in his hand, who looks more bemused than angry.
This isn't the case. Where's this? And he will just go half panicked, half trying to figure out if it's safe enough to not throw another one.
I say thank you, Lumi, but you're quite safe here. We're not in combat. You turned to stone.
So
Remember?
I got stiff, like hard to move. I had problems moving, but can't remember getting turned to. He grunts and just sits down and just.
The older gentleman looks at you and goes, I often find that people who have been turned to stone do not remember the process of being turned to stone. Unless their head is the last bit to go, and those people are usually very traumatized.
Oh. Yeah, sadly, you got the Ibikun treatment.
Does anybody else need restoration? The other priest comes over to you, Cryor, and casts Cure Wounds, which is D6, I think, for 8 points of healing.
Oh, thank you very much.
He nods. Marius nods to you guys as you haven't responded about wanting further services, and goes, let us know if the temple of Basima can aid you in further endeavors, or if you just want to chat.
Oh, thank you for helping me get back. Could you point me to the nearest outdoors? I think I need some fresh air.
The other priest goes, yeah, just follow me, and leads the way through the temple. I'll be
glad to be out of here.
They pointedly ignore you, Risha. Politely. Politely, that's the word I'm looking for. Politely ignore you. And you are led through very cold, walled, like, it is early spring. This place feels like it's, I don't know, 12 degrees Celsius, maybe 15. Definitely on the cool side of comfortable. Because I think 23 is room temperature. Anyway.
Thereabouts.
2023-ish. Yeah. Talking 45, 50 for those Americans. Leads you outdoors. The warmth of the early spring afternoon and the bright sunlight greet you as you step out of the walls of this place, Lumi. The light from your perspective, you were just in a tunnel underground. The light shining off of the white walls behind you and just being outdoors in sunlight is startling.
Too bad I'm all tapped on my changing abilities, or I would take a flight. Does like a half hop with the arm flap and just goes, nope, still nothing.
The town, this is in the castle ward. The town in this part of town is fairly well traveled. You guys are in the street. Looks like much of the damage from the earthquake is been repaired.
Were we all together when
Yes.
Lumi re-lumied?
Yeah.
Okay. I just then Beryl would respond in surprise, and maybe while we're walking, just introduce himself. Oh, hello. You must be Lumi. Good to meet you. I'm Beryl. I've just recently joined the group because we I don't know if you could hear when you were in that box, but I got teleported with you guys, and I'm here now, and I'm a new member of the group, and I hope that's okay. And this is Lucy, and hello.
Hello again, Lucy and Beryl. We met briefly in the encampment on the east side of Haifa.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
It's all been very confusing, but it's good to see you again.
It is. I was kind of confused why you were there, but now that's cleared up.
Yeah, well, still confusing, but as cleared up as it could be.
Indeed. This is... For me, I was in a cave fighting things, and then I was in an office. So,
That must have been very shocking.
yeah. Kind of.
How are you feeling? I've never turned to stone.
He does the... Lumi does the human check the limbs dance. Just bending.
Well, it looks like everything's working.
Beryl, this is by far and away. You've now been walking. The people you're with, your friends, seem to be walking in a very specific direction. They've left the like castle, like highfalutin. The buildings were all highfalutin, as nice as you ever seen. They passed through a gate and are headed towards the south left on the map.
West.
Thank you. West or east? South, north, south, west,
West.
east, west. Yep,
Southwest.
southwest. They seem to know where they're going. But this, you've already walked as far as to get from the pit to the temple was as far as across the entirety of Haifa. And now you have walked as far south as that, and you are continuing to walk. And Haifa was the second biggest town you've ever been in, and you hadn't spent a lot of time in Ava, which is a little bigger than Haifa, but not nearly as big as this. And the thing that you notice probably most is, as you're walking, the smells. The smells of rotted and fresh fish, the smell of salty sea air, although that's a little harder to place for you, and the smell of some sort of grilled meat that just makes you realize it's been like 6 hours since the last time you ate. And you hear a growl, and at first you think it's your stomach, and then you realize it's Lucy, who has gone streaking toward a small cart. This cart has a middle-aged Feyan man, fairly short, but also not very wide. He has a cart that is painted on the front of it. Fresh sausage sandwiches. Finest pig ever. And Lucy is now at the base of this cart begging.
Oh, Lucy, wait! I've told you about this. Just hold on, I'll be right there. We'll get. Sorry about that. We have been walking for a long time, and we are very hungry.
Well,
Have we gotten to the cart?
Oh,
or
yeah.
am I still okay?
you as you have appeared to like start towards him, he's much closer to you than you realized at first, or he has the ability to almost teleport with the rapidity of his movement. Finest pork sausage sandwiches. Sorry, finest pig sausage sandwiches you've ever had. Only 3 copper each, and that's cutting me own throat.
I will. I mean, frankly, any kind of sandwich right now would be amazing. But I believe you, and we will take 2 for me and 1 for my friend here.
3.
Anybody else?
3
Sorry.
pig sausage sandwiches, only 8 copper. Special discount from me to you, and the fine. Here you go. And he tosses one of them to Lucy, and there's a kind of a sound as Lucy catches it. The smells on this are strong. So you are handed a couple of sandwiches with their sausage. They're definitely sausage shaped. There's buns. There's some sort of unidentified liquid around the sausage. And the smells are very strong. And you're pretty sure you recognize some of the things that you see inside of the sausage. He turns to the rest of you. Can I get anybody else a sausage sandwich? It's just 3 copper each, or a discount if you buy more. Finest pig ever seen.
Right. Pig.
Yeah.
As Risha pulls up her mask.
What 100% pig, sourced fresh. Some days. Two copper each. 2 copper each, and that's cutting my own throat.
Luby will look at him and, without any sort of falsity in his eyes, to say, "No thanks, I don't eat," and turn away.
Is anybody else going to brave a sandwich? Barreled, have you taken a bite?
Yes, Barreled is most of the way through the first one, and seeing everyone else's reactions just sort of stops mid-bite.
It is,
And
you're hungry. It's
yes,
definitely made from animal parts. It's slightly chewier than sausage you've encountered before, but the spices are strong, and it's not like bad, but it's very nose forward. And you know, it's sausage. Sausage is made from all of the bits of the animal that you can get through a grinder but won't go into anything else.
I think he would say with a mouthful,
Am I missing something?
looking at the other members of the group.
Yeah. Standards. I'm a princess, okay?
As you guys walk away with only Beryl, which, you know, Lucy has found a bucket and she has washed her sandwich off. Unfortunately, it disintegrated most of the bread, but she's still like chewing down on this. It's like she's waddling on her back feet with the sausage in her hands and she's like gnawing it. And as you guys are turning around and walking without buying any more, he's like, just 1 copper each, just 1. It's best pig you've ever had.
What? Bye.
Bye.
And Beryl will be working on the second sandwich and sharing pieces of it with Lucy.
Lucy's like, she's thrilled. Like, this is lovely. You guys eventually work your way past Mr. Dibbler's comestibles and work your way, like, you have crossed maybe half an hour ago a bridge that is maybe twice the span of the bridges that were in Haifa, and have continued to walk, and eventually you come to a somewhat broken but fairly well appointed house. And without pause, the remainder of the party passes through the door. Lucy is like, she's walking on 3 paws because she's still licking her 1 paw, and she says to you, hopefully they have a think in here so I can wash my hands.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Well, we'll find one for you. Don't you worry.
Yay.
And gives her a head scritch.
And you guys are back at your abode.
So
Well,
this, so this is it? You guys want to show me around, or?
I open the door and, well, that's all that we have to show.
While you're gazing at the sky, Lumi, Risha will come up and be like, hey, maybe you and Ibrahim could start a Turn to Stone support group with each other.
Thanks. I'll keep it in mind.
I mean, GM goals now turn the rest of you to stone at some point during the campaign.
Thanks, Risha.
You're welcome.
You guys
At least
enter.
I'm the only one who's died.
One of these days, you guys are all going to have to catch me up on all of these stories, because they sound fascinating.
Is Oscar here?
Oscar is not here. You do find a note with, it's not sealed, but it does have his name on it.
Then I'll read the note.
It says, have a good lead on where I might be able to find her. I should be back by the end of the 27th. It's currently the 28th.
Oops.
Because you guys were in the tunnels for about 3 days, I think.
Something like that, yeah. I'll show the note to the rest, pointing out that he is overdue.
I could have sworn it was still only the 21st, but like,
It does bring questions to mind if it's late. Maybe we should should we try to figure out what's happened, or do we have more pressing matters to tend to?
Who is this person? What's their name?
This is Oscar, the servant of the first daughter of the Lord of Ava, I think.
Okay. So
Yulik?
yeah, so Beryl would know who the first let me get his title correct.
First Lord Yulik.
Yes. So first Lord Yulik, he is the ruler of the city of Ava. So Ava is the other big town. Here, I should bring up the map. Give a little bit of history since it's been a minute since we've been reminded. So Ava is this city here. It's the only big town between Vali and Haifa. Haifa being the town that got blowed up a little bit. So First Lord Yulik is the king is the wrong term, but ruler of that city. And they introduced Oscar as the servant of the daughter Tiasa of the First Lord Yulik. Beryl, you ran into Tiasa and got introduced kind of in passing to her when the Bad Basilisks reunited with Brunhilde.
Yes, thank you. But I didn't think I would not.
You would not have known that her name was special.
Okay, and I would not have known Oscar specifically.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure the RP was correct. Okay.
But like that's a bit of a so yeah. Okay, I'll let you handle that how you see fit. But that
Okay.
I wanted to give you the context your character would have.
Thank you.
Oh, well, that seems pretty important. You guys were trying to figure out what to do next. I mean, seems like that might be important, but I don't know. I'm new here.
Also, Lumi doesn't know about the for the group to go to Haifa and backtrack the tunnels.
True statement.
I think if we found the group what Asha was with, we might find the Bad Basilisk. And we find some answers.
But didn't Tiasa try to distract him off to a different town or something?
True.
So the lead was the news came back to him that she was spotted. But are we going to do anything about him being late? Or is there any other pressing matters we need to prioritize?
Well, it's only one day so far, so.
I mean, you guys should also probably eat. Since, Lucy and I were the only ones.
Yeah, but our butler just went missing.
Oh, you can't eat without a butler. Okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
but there was awesome. There was really good food in the cave. That amazing stew. I'm sorry. I just, I
Zari
like food.
Zari goes, okay, I'll see what's in the kitchen. And she goes into the kitchen to prepare supper. It's about supper time. Meanwhile,
Thank you.
Lucy has climbed up onto the counter and has discovered the taps and that there's running water and is currently like trying to, her arms aren't quite long enough to like wash her hands under the flowing sink without like sometimes sticking her head in the water. And so all around the sink is just this giant wet mess. And Lucy is a raccoon who is enjoying themselves as much as a raccoon can enjoy themselves.
So sorry about this. I will clean this up.
I'm looking at the group.
I will clean this up after. Let me know if you need her to not be up on any particular surface. She's having fun, but I'll ask her to get down if you need her to.
Zari
She's
calls,
just so darn cute.
"It's fine. Give me back the..." And she pulls, she was trying to put the pot underneath the sink. Lucy had grabbed a hold of it. Zari pulls it back out, turns the water away from Lucy, who makes a very disappointed like face at Zari. Zari fills the pot, puts the water back over to Lucy, and then Lucy is back in raccoon heaven after having gotten something from Zari, she's now washing it in the sink.
Grab Lucy and go take a bath.
I will gladly go take a bath after being in those caves for so freaking long.
Lumi will bring a small pot of a small jug of water to boil for his tea.
All right. So we'll pull back a little bit from the domestic. And at some point, you guys, I'm assuming, fill Lumi in on the plans that you guys are going to be about a week and then heading off, teleporting closer to Haifa along with a selection of army. So we have about a week of downtime. So, who would like to go first with any downtime activities you have to do in this week?
I'm trying to go find libraries and train languages and other things. And the feat that I'm wanting to go for is, let me check. I think it's called Linguist.
Sure, that is
It exactly what I want.
right. So in the trade ward, you have no issue finding bookstores, which are not exactly a library, but they're close. You can buy books on languages. Only real libraries there are open to the public, not as part of like a school or a college or that sort of thing, are in the castle ward. So would Cryor prefer to buy and own books, or he can get in the castle ward? You guys are well known enough now that you have a pass to get past the guards. It's a bit of a hike to go to the castle ward, but it is perfectly doable. So would you prefer to buy and own books on this, or would you prefer to walk to the castle ward daily?
I like to travel light, so I would say Castlewood.
Okay. So go ahead and make me an intelligence, probably history roll for training your language to become a linguist. And this will be I would say this is a standard task. It's gonna be a little faster than actually learning languages, but
So how big is the wheel?
Game tools. So standard difficulties, DC 10, 4 segments. Most feats. Yep. So standard difficulty. So
15.
15. That is enough for 2 segments over the course of the week. You have what languages are you training?
Ooh, I haven't thought about the languages yet because the rest of the feed actually is what I want.
Okay. You want to pop the linguist feat into the chat or give me a link?
Boom, boom, boom. Feeds. Linguists. Can I do it like that? There.
Ah. Ooh, increase your intelligence score by 1. Gain 3 languages of your choice. You can create written ciphers. Ah, neat. Okay. So 100%. You have, by the end of the week, you have just piles of notes that you have kept in one of your journals. And you think you have a good start of understanding on learning these languages. Please go ahead and pick your languages you have. I'll give you a roll on them to understand written, but probably not spoken yet, versions of them.
Okay, I will pick some languages.
All right.
Well, you do some others, people.
Yeah. Who would like to go next?
I'd just like to continue working on my Warcaster feat.
Go for it. What did you roll last time?
I think Arcana?
Sure, go for an Arcana roll. 17. I think we said this was a normal difficulty. Standard difficulty.
It's got 4
Yep.
wedges on the clock.
So with a 17, that would be enough for 2 wedges.
Okay.
So
Well, I only need 1 more, so...
okay. So about halfway through the week, you finish off your studies and become proficient at casting spells and keeping concentration upon them. You feel like you are prepared for war. If you wanted to spend that other pie slice towards another Arcana-based feat or some other Arcana-based task, like, I don't know, recording... You have a couple of spell books. You could record some of the spells into your own spell book. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I'd like to... Yeah, I could work towards, deciphering that spell book I'm also working on.
Which spell book was that?
One of the cultist ones.
The first one or the second one? Because you have 2.
I think the second one.
Okay. You with one pie slice, you know everything up to everything that is in there up to the second level of spells or second level spells. So if you've got your note paper handy, the spells up to second level are Mind Sliver, Charm Person, Sleep, Gift of Gab, Hold Person, and Suggestion.
Sorry, I'm having trouble finding a notepad-like app.
Yeah. I can go over them again or copy them in.
Yeah, if you could put those in somewhere I can reference, that would be...
For now,
if that's quick and easy.
Yeah.
But I already had 1 slice.
So, you already had one slice, so a second slice
Yeah.
would get you through 4th level spells. So I will copy those in. That's Fast Friends, Incite Greed, Charm Monster, and Confusion.
Ooh.
And you would at this point know that there are an additional 5 spells in this book.
Okay.
And this book, much like the other one, is just full of ranting and raving, and it's a little more obsessed with mind magic than the previous one was, and controlling others and that sort of thing, but it's a real... The person who wrote it has very strong opinions. Some of them match what arcane knowledge you are familiar with. Some of them are just like wild, off the wall, like theories. But yeah, those are the ones you can get out of there.
Okay. Excellent.
Oh, there's a fun one a little further in. All right. Okay. Who would like to go next?
I got my languages, if nobody wants to go next.
What languages
Go
are you
for
picking
it.
up?
Elvish. And I have a question about the runes that are on the teleport rings. What language are those from?
Mostly Draconic, although they're not Draconic language necessarily, but generally the runes of magic are use the symbology of Draconic. And the symbology of Draconic and the symbology of Feyen are probably somewhat related to each other, the same way that, say, the symbology of German and the symbology of Greek, they share some letters and some letters are different, sort of thing.
Then I'll skip that one and take Dwarfish.
Okay, Dwarvish doesn't exist because there are no dwarves.
Oh, what are the most people visited in this city?
Most people visited in the city would be Elvish, Burgundy Coast, and I need a name for the Southern Continent because the Southern Continent just sounds so blasé. But yes, the Southern Continent.
Sylvan might be good if we're going to have more dealings with the Fae in the future.
Also, Sylvan is not common here, but is a good one because, yes, you have a Fey-touched friend, if nothing else.
And Sylvan is... you have a friend that can help with Sylvan.
Also true.
Lumi speaks Sylvan.
Then it will be Elfish, Sylvan, and Giant.
Go for it. You have a friend who can help teach you Giant as well.
Yep.
In one barreled.
Da, 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 da.
So you can continue to work not in a city if you have a downtime. All right. Who would be next?
Well, Lumi has nothing burning on the stove, so to speak, so he's just wondering about seeing if he can help anyone, maybe.
Okay. Lumik, you can do the aid action to somebody else's task,
Yeah.
giving them advantage on their skill check. Risha and Beryl, you are left.
I think Beryl, what I had in mind was Beryl getting himself settled in, and getting a lay of the land and talking to the members of the group and just getting to know folks more. That I didn't have anything specific other than him just trying to settle in and learn more about the crew. If there is something I should be doing, I was potentially thinking maybe studying archery because I biffed that first shot in the cavern. Other than that, I'm not sure. I mean,
Okay. There's a couple of different ways we can handle this.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
try to find a better bow or better arrows.
oh,
You could work on. Is there an archery feat?
there
Off the
is.
top of my
Oh.
head, there's crossbow expert and sharpshooter,
Ooh, sharpshooter.
All right,
which
so
won't
there
really
is an
make your
archery.
attack any better, but
But it would be
but it
a
gives
feat that
extra
you could
things
go
you
to.
can do when using a bow.
Yeah.
Say that again, please. I missed the first half.
It won't give you more accuracy with your bow, but it will give you more things you can do with your bow. Like
Neat.
you don't take a penalty for shooting out to long range, and you can reduce your accuracy to increase your damage.
Oh, that's cool. Now, what would be better about sharpshooter over the archery feat? What would
Well,
be
the archery feat was what I
It
was
is an
thinking.
archery feat.
Yeah. So
Oh, it's just okay. I'm sorry. Oh, there it is. Look, it
Yeah.
says home feat sharpshooter. Okay, that please.
I don't think you are a crossbow expert. So yeah, sharpshooter would be a thing. It would be a feat you could work towards.
Great. Yes, please.
Half and 3/4 cover. Well, we're using 2014 rules, not 2024 rules, Vosk. So I don't know if they remove cover, but I use cover.
Oh, yeah, sharpshooter does make you not need to worry about whether the target has cover or not.
Yeah.
Only.
Oh, nice.
So basically,
Only-
if you can see their eye, you can shoot an arrow into it.
That sounds fantastic.
All right. So training a feat. So you'll want to make a note somewhere you have available. A sharpshooter would be a normal difficulty feat. And let's see, what should you roll as a skill to do this feat? It'd be a dex space skill.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand or acrobatics. I'll let you choose.
I like the idea of acrobatics, please.
All right.
So, can I see if I can do it from within?
And Lumi can give you an aid so you can do it with advantage.
Okie doke. Da-da-da, trying to find it on the thing. All right, I'm sweating this, so I'm just going to do it in...
Top left list, besides the big stat window, you have two small list and a larger list. The larger list are the skills. You should have acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, etc.
Oh, yes. No, I was just looking to do it from my Roll20 sheet, which may be what you were just telling me.
Yep.
Okay, so then why... I don't want to make people wait, though, so I'm getting a little sweaty.
No worries.
Okay.
We're all
the time
calm.
of the world.
Yes.
Okay, so then I've got my... Here, let me reopen my sheet. And am I looking in just the character sheet?
Yep. If you have the line of strength, dex, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma along the left-hand side, if you go just a tad right from intelligence, you get a list with all of the skills.
All right, so I am watching what Samalander is doing, and I am seeing the same thing that he is seeing, and I want to watch him make this choice.
I want to, because it's on the spells list, I don't know how to switch it to the not spells
Hit
list.
the core button, top right.
Oh, got it.
I
And we
completely
decided-
missed that. Where's it at?
Thank you. Acrobatics?
Oh, bio spells core. Ah, okay. So yes, acrobatics.
And then I get to do it again and choose the higher one because Lucy helped me?
Because Lumi helped you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you rolled with advantage there
You
with
said
a
Lumi.
14 and 12. Because it rolled twice.
Oh, I did already do
Oh,
it.
I did find another good feat for that. You could take Fighting Initiate, which gives you a fighting style, and you could take archery as a fighting style,
Ooh,
and
that
that'll
would-
increase your accuracy.
That would actually be better for you.
All right.
So
Okay,
fighting
so let
initiate,
me-
we'll go with same. So it's still a 10 DC 10. So write down on your sheet, you have one of, because with the 14 it is over your 10, so you succeeded once. One of 4 necessary pie pieces for fighting initiate.
Fighting initiate feat, and I have one of 4 pie pieces, and that is because it is a normal difficulty feat as
Yes,
well.
correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Tasha's cauldron of everything. Aha. There. Nice. All right. And I think that is everyone. So over the.
Except for Risha.
Oh, sorry, Risha.
It's all good.
Hi.
I've been quiet
You have been quiet.
because Gaius has been loud.
Oh,
Gaius has been wild. Like, so you guys see Gaius and Risha having long staring contests over the course of this week.
okay.
Gaius is the not. Does Gaius have a jaw, a lower jaw, Risha, or is it just the top part of the skull?
Lower jaw.
Lower jaw. So Gaius is a skull, with the jaw attached. You're not 100% sure how the jaw is attached because you don't see any like flesh. And she is just, whenever you see her in this week of time, she is staring deeply into Gaius's skull. Okay, what else has Risha been doing other than being creepy with the skull?
Well, being creepy with the skull is her working with Mom towards her Eldritch Adept feat.
Okay.
And if she gets her last thing and still other pie pieces, her Magic Initiate feat.
Okay, so Eldritch Adept, you had already started that, right?
Yeah, Eldritch Adept is actually 3 of 4 is what I have written down.
Okay, so roll. You would be using your charisma, and you're using Gaius to do this. So roll me a persuasion or deception check, please.
They're both the same bonus.
Ah, that is a natural 20.
Baby!
So that is enough, since it's a DC 10, for 1 pie piece for being the DC, 1 pie piece for 15, 1 pie piece for 20, 1 pie piece for 25, and 1 pie piece for a natural 20. So that's a total of 5 pie pieces you can now spend on this feat, and I will let you continue to spend on the next feat. Was Magic Initiate?
Yep, which is 1 of 4. So I still have a pie piece left.
Oh, jeez.
I now have to make decisions.
I think for your final pie piece, I will give you a conversation. If that's okay.
Yes.
So it's about Wednesday. So you guys came back up on Sunday, the 28th of Emerald. It is now Wednesday, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of Jade. And Risha's in the common room. It's just after lunchtime. She has been staring into Gaius's eye sockets for days at this point. Who else is around?
I'll probably
me.
be in the library.
Okay. So Iberkeit's around. Iberkeit, your nose is in a book, probably.
I mean, Lumi is in and out between helping Beral with the training and just being a busybody. Just
Okay. I think Beryl and Lumi, you guys are out in the side yard. The front door, or probably the windows, are open. And Beryld's getting better at shooting a bow into a target that you have found and set up, Lumi. And Risha, you talk to Gaius in your brain, and you think you hear him in your brain some of the time, but a lot of the time you're pretty sure you're just filling in both sides of this conversation. And out loud, you hear Iberkeet, you hear as well, and Beryld, what is your passive perception?
Passive perception. I was typing all of this in. Oh, where the heck is it here?
It's
There it is. 12.
12 probably isn't enough, but Lumi, your passive perception's like stupid, isn't it?
21.
So yeah, you would hear
Mine's
this.
16.
Oh geez, and
Oh wait, this is a different place.
no, yeah, well, you would hear it as well, because you're in the house somewhere, Iberkeet. You would hear Gaius say, it's kind of a, and then Risha, you kind of pick Gaius up off of the table where you had like set him down to like stare deeply into his eyes, and as you pick him up, the jaw starts moving, and he's like, "Oh, you don't have any idea how annoying it is when you can't move your own jaw." Hi.
Oh, hi, bud. How you doing?
I'm doing great. When are you gonna visit?
There's just so many things to do here, and I gotta find the right portal, and, like, I know Mom's probably mad at me, but coming home is just
mad is.
time-consuming.
I wouldn't use the word mad. She's disappointed.
Oh, that is so much worse.
I know, right? But she thinks she might have a way to help.
I would always be grateful for Mom's help. We love
Okay.
Mom so much.
So you're gonna need to give something up, and you're gonna need to come and visit. But I'm sure the thing that you give up isn't gonna be that big a deal, right? It's just some small piece of your arcane soul.
I mean, it usually benefits me in the long run, so like...
Yeah, she told me it would totally benefit you. Something optimized, something, lots of words, overusing something. I don't know. There was a lot of talk, but she told me I could take it from you, and then when I glow red, you know that you're close to where you can come visit.
I bet. Like, I'd love to see you glow red instead of green sometimes.
You don't like my green glow?
Oh, I love your green glow, but like, sometimes aesthetic changes can be good for the soul, you know?
By now, Beryl.
Not everybody needs to stay the same all the time.
Oh, yeah, change is great. By now, Beryl, you've noticed this conversation going on with a voice you don't recognize.
Okay.
Lumi and Iberkeet, what are you guys doing?
I'm frightened beyond the capacity for rational thought.
Risha,
That's fair.
please tell me that isn't Gaius you're talking to.
Please give me, Iberkeet, please give me a intelligence saving throw. With a 27. You see a talking skull, and you have feelings about undead. But what you notice after a few minutes of this skull talking is that it is skull shaped. It is not actually a human skull. It is much more akin. Looking at it, the teeth are all wrong. They're kind of a solid, like they look kind of sculpted like teeth, but they're kind of a solid like piece. They're not individual teeth. The jaw is being manipulated just at where it meets the upper jaw, the lower jaw. You can see some like tendrils of black vine that are like attached into it that are making it move up and down. And there is a deep green glow coming from the inside. Oh, and there's no like hole in the bottom of it like you would have where the neck connects. And you realize that this isn't really a skull. This is a shell. Like some sort of demented like sea creature shell, as opposed to like an actual human skull. You swear that when Risha picked Gaius up at first, it was absolutely the skull of a person. But you see that there's been some subtle changes to it, and it is a replacement skull. Changeling, if you will. Risha, you know nothing of this. It's Gaius. It's always been Gaius, right? Okay, so your phobia is... You're still a little squicked out of it, but knowing that it is not actually a human skull, you're a little less like foot to the floor panic attack.
Maybe we'll poke his head through the window and go, Risha! What are you doing?
I'm talking to Gaius like I always do.
Hi, Lumi. Gaius, like Risha is holding the skull, but it like turns in her hand without her manipulating it, and is now looking at you, Lumi.
We don't put that thing away. We don't deal with those anymore.
You might not, but I always do. He's my friend.
Remember what happened last time you made a deal?
See, but this time I'm not making a deal to like actively keep somebody alive, which I'm clearly bad at. Clearly, I'm better at making sure they're dead.
Oh, right. I
And
was
that's
going to
more
take
fun,
something from
too.
you, and there is this sound as in through the eye and nose holes, you hear like a deep intake of breath, and a thick purple haze kind of floats off of Risha and floats into the skull. And the eyes flash purple for a few moments, and then return to green. And Risha, please make the changes to the character sheet that we had talked about earlier.
Oh, you're gonna be the death of me, Risha.
Oh, right. I was supposed to ask for one more thing.
Oh?
Well, sorry, I gotta look up. Hold on, I gotta get titles right. I am bad at NPCs. I am bad at NPCs. There we go. That one. Ha 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 ha. So, the Queen of Air and Darkness, Mistress of Father Cold, Mother of Ice Maiden, Mother Frost, Daughter of the Blizzard Crone, Keeper of Night Secrets, Collector of Lost Hope, and Bane of Igneth, the Night Terror, says, If you want your dragon friend back, bring me the bell. And then the skull goes dormant. The green light fades away from it, and it falls from your unfeeling fingers, clattering to the ground.
Ooh! Lumi! Do you still have that bell? I know how to get... What's her bucket back? The dragon lady! The cool one! From the mountaintop? Yeah!
No. And Lumi just stomps.
But Mom wants the bell! She said she'll give us the cool girl back!
And as Lumi is stomping off, we just hear, no! No!
Beryl,
But you wanted to rescue her! We have a way! I'm helping!
you feel Lucy pulling on your like pants leg. She goes, "Who's the cool girl?"
Lucy, I have no idea what's going on, and Lumi just walked away.
Oh, well, can you ask Risha who the cool girl is? Because I like meeting cool girls.
Oh, sorry, that was a Mia response. Oh, sure thing. Risha?
Like Beryl, I'm guessing walks over to the window and leans in and says,
Risha, who's the cool girl? The girl?
Oh, she's this really... was angry, and then we fed her, and isn't angry, and became our friend. Dragon lady, who we met at the top of a mountain after we used this really cool map, and it sent us somewhere. And, like, her daughter's a dragon, too, and we met her, and we saved them both, and kind of saved us, and, like... Mom came and was mad at me because somebody died and it wasn't even my fault. And that's how I got this really cool streak in my hair. That's a different color from the rest of my hair. As she lets her disguise finally fall down, and it's like her true, and it's like really cool, but it's like, yeah, but anyway, she's actually a dragon, and like Mom took her away because she made a deal to not kill me if she went into servitude. And Lumi has this bell that can compel people to like be your servant for like 5 ever. And Mom just said she wants the bell, and it's just a stupid little bell. But like we could get Lumi's dragon friend. He said he wanted to save her. So like, why won't he give me the bell?
Beryl just is nodding along, goes, and looks down at Lucy and goes,
I have no idea.
Take a point of inspiration, please. both Suda and both Suda and Beryl. Oh, that was great. So Lumi looks up and goes, "Well, can you ask if she's like cold because she's cold or because she's like interesting?"
That I can definitely do. It does sound like she's interesting, but I'll absolutely ask. Risha, is she cool because she's cold? Like physically cold, or is she cool because she's interesting?
No, she's cool is kind of like a turn of phrase. She's actually very hot. Oh. She's a fire-based dragon. So like when she's in dragon form, if you touch her, she can like actually physically burn you sometimes. And like she's really good at cooking food, but not nearly as good at Zari because she tends to overcook it. If she cooks at all, she likes to eat it raw a lot of the time. She doesn't even wash it, Lucy.
Okay, this part I understood. Lucy, she's interesting, and she's a dragon, and she fire breathes, and she likes to eat her food raw, but for some reason... Wait, why am I telling you this? You could hear all of this. She's interesting. I'm just really excited that I understood that whole bit there. She's interesting, Lucy.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's with mom right now, and I don't know why she wouldn't want to be with mom, or why Lumi wants to take her away from mom. But like, it's for just a stupid little bell, Lumi. As she stares at the ceiling.
Lumi, you walked off, but you absolutely heard all of this conversation.
Which is why you just hear a faint, I said no, Risha.
But it's just a bell!
Lumi will huff and stomp back and shove his head through the window and say, no, it's not just a bell. It's a bell that she is the last person I would give it to. So,
But
no.
but you said yourself you're gonna rescue her. It's the easiest way. And then you don't have to make mom mad at the same time, which means I don't have to have my heart crushed ever again. That was not pleasant.
But she is not a person you want to have this bell. She is not
Okay.
a being that you would want to have this bell. Don't you get that?
No, I don't. Like, she's mom. She's so nice and cuddly. She gives me uppies.
I just written down bell of do not use on my character sheet.
That's amazing.
At this point, Zari feels the need to come in and go to Barreled to explain, because she goes, not actually Risha's mom.
Okay, good. I was really wondering about that. Thank you.
Yeah, no. She is a Fae queen who is, when we saw her, she was 12, 15 or more feet tall. All black, too thin, with, it was like the black of no, like almost absorbing the light. Like you couldn't see her shape because it was too black and there was no reflection. And yeah, she reached her, oh right, the fingers had too many joints in them. Like they were extra, there was an extra joint or two in each finger. And there were the kind of the wrong number of fingers, but like there were only 5, but it felt like there were the wrong number of fingers. And yeah, she reached into Risha's chest and held her suspended 10 feet over a campfire and yelled at her.
And she calls her mom?
Zari looks at Risha.
Yeah, she's why I have warlock, she says with air quote fingers, powers to begin with. She also, took away all the nightmares.
And held you over a fire.
I mean, that part wasn't so bad. It was warm. It was the squishing my heart that sucked.
Uh-huh.
But she
This
also
is all
gives
very
me
interesting.
puppies.
Yeah, uppies, as in she held you 10 feet in the air by your heart.
She also let me sit on her lap, gave me uppies.
I think you're coming home at the end of the day about the time this conversation is to this point, Cryor.
Yeah. See, her mom is not our friend.
Oh, hey, Cryor.
Her mom is bad news, says Zari.
Okay, got it.
Like, the stuff they tell children to make sure the children stay in their bed at night sort of bad news?
The Archfey aren't that bad once you get to know them. You just don't piss them off or tell them your true name. Unless you want to be cool like me. Before it's cool like everybody else.
No comment.
So the week passes, and you guys have heard nothing more from Oscar. No notes. No, he hasn't stopped by. At the end of the week, the landlord comes by and goes, where's the guy, the one, okay, so you're all staying here, but where's the one who's been paying me at? He if you gotta stay here for another week, I need more. We're gonna need to talk about more rent.
Well, he's about a week late from coming back from checking a lead, so what was the rent on the place?
Hold on, I need to look up. It's a seven brass a week. I prefer to be paid by a month. So 28 brass a month.
Lumi will just turn back to the group. Are we staying here a lot longer, or are we doing something else?
Well, we should go to the other city, right? With the army.
Right. So, Lumi will turn back to the landlord. If you don't mind, we'd like a week extension to organize a trip, and then we're out of here.
Oh, okay. 7. That'll be fine. 7 more brass. I can let you stay for another week.
And I will dig up 7 brass from the pouch and hand it off.
Thanks. And if you see Oscar, let him know. I'll let him know that you paid for another week. Or if I see Oscar, I'll let him know you paid for another week.
Yes, thank you.
And he heads out.
I have a question. When we are not, we do not need to pay rent when we're not physically at the hideout.
So
Is that-
when we were in Haifa, you had to pay half if you weren't there, because it also counted for like food and other upkeep stuff. But this place's rent is full cost per the week, no matter if you're there or not.
Okay. So is the expectation that we've paid for a week because we're assuming Oscar will be back in time to pay the rest while we're gone?
I mean,
This Lumi's assumption is he paid for a week, so the group had a week to get their affairs in order and meet the army to march.
yeah, that would be tomorrow is when that was intended.
And if Oscar comes back in the week, he wouldn't come to a locked door, like a blocked house.
Okay.
So it's both get the landlord out of the out of the picture now, and give Oscar a slight breathing space for if he comes back in a week.
Perfectly understood. Thank you.
This evening, there is a letter sealed with a fairly fancy crossed, as in it is a fancy, well-worked seal of a crossed great axe and great sword, and is delivered to it. Basically, the person comes up to the door, knocks, waits, hands it to the first person who answers the door, and then leaves.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right. What's this letter? And Lumi will open and start reading off for the group.
Please, please come to the dock ward teleportation circles at 7 a.m. on the morning of the 7th of the current month, whose name I'm blanking. 7th of Jade, to accompany 50 troops, and I am bad at people in land. One day I'll learn to remember 50 troops and Iris to the city of Haifa via as close teleportation circle as we can arrange. And there is a repeat of the seal at the bottom of this page, but it's embossed. So the seal on the front of to close the letter was a wax seal. The seal at the bottom of this is embossed into the paper.
I write letters with wax seals, by the way.
I want to.
In real life right now. Yeah, that's it. The end. Go on.
Right. So, get a good night's sleep and up and at 'em early, I guess.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yep.
Can I add the color that Lucy ran to the door and took it in her teeth and then brought it to Lumi?
100%.
Can I add that
Yeah.
color?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, the messenger was just delivering it to the house, so 100%.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and take a long rest, as you guys have spent a week not in combat or otherwise danger. And then we reconvene. Oh no.
I think that means my skill is on woe duty, but I'll have to check.
And then we'll reconvene at about 5 to 7 as Zari is carrying a sleeping Risha on her back. And Berald and Luzi are being led, because they've never been here before, back to the dock ward, where there is a fairly large troop of people, and Iris, none of the people other than Iris any of you have met. Looks like in the group there's maybe 25 or 30 who have shields and swords and pikes. Call it 30 with shields and swords and pikes. 15 have like normal clothing, and then 5 have a Oh, the ones with shields and swords and pikes, they're wearing like half plate. The ones in normal clothing, they have various different. Some of them have books, some of them have wands. A couple of them have crystals attached to their belt, and then there are 5 who are wearing breastplate with shield and maces, flails, and other blunt instruments. A couple of the guys with swords and shields and pikes also have longbows. They are unstrung and attached to their pack, along with several quivers of arrows distributed amongst more than just those with bows.
How many people in the group with the swords, shields, pikes?
30.
30. Thank you.
All right. And then Iris is standing at the head of the group and sees you guys pulling up around right on time. Zari gives you a jostle, Risha, to kind of wake you up. You're drooling. Exactly.
Mom is drooling.
No, that's not...
Besides, you're comfortable, and I don't have to walk. I've been awake for 5 minutes. Or 30 seconds.
I believe 30 seconds. Barreled, this is a large open square with several arcane several large circles on the ground that have arcane symbols written in them. You don't recognize any of this.
Okay, I was going to ask, has Beryl seen anything like this before?
Never.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not even super familiar with magic, so yeah, no. You don't know what it is.
Okay.
And Iris looks at all of you, looks at the sleeping, or at least faking sleeping Risha, and goes, "All right, unless you guys know of a closer circle, we'll be teleporting to Ava." And I think it'll
Wasn't
take...
there one like a couple of days east of Miiva? In like a village, or did we destroy that one?
You destroyed that one. There was one in Miiva. So if you would prefer to go there, you could suggest it. It's the same-ish distance between Miiva and Haifa and Ava and Haifa. Probably a little closer as the crow flies, but a little further as the road takes. But it's still about a week.
I'd rather go to our own city.
Your city of Miiva, right?
Yes.
I don't know the
Didn't you
symbol.
write down the symbols for that one?
I do.
All right. Well, it'll take 3 transfers to send everybody. I'll have to go with the last group. I'll
You
send
go first.
Yeah, I'll send your group and a few soldiers with the first group. If you could all gather on top of the circle.
And just give us like 20 to 30 seconds before sending group 2 so we can adequately explain the number coming through.
She nods. And she pulls out a scroll. No, you all have to stand on the symbol. She looks at Lucy, who's like on the next symbol over.
Lucy, come here.
And Beryl would call her into his arms so he can hold her, because frankly he's freaked out, and so he's using hugging her as an excuse.
Right.
to be comforted.
And she starts chanting an arcane chant, and you see the scroll disintegrating in her hands as she does so. And there is a feeling of discontinuity. And I would like somebody to roll me a D100, please.
What? There we go. Risha did one.
Well, Risha got it out first, so Risha. Well, all you. So there is this feeling of being neither here or there, and there's a slight wrenching sensation as suddenly there is here, and you are standing in a fairly enclosed space for the number of people who are here. And there is a just like middle teens girl who was sitting in a chair across the room, who is now falling out of the chair and gasping as a bunch of people arrive.
Is this Padragain?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Holy
Hi, Pat.
shit! Hi. Oh!
Hi. Don't calm down quite yet. There are more groups coming through.
There's no room for more groups coming
Prior
through.
Risha, Ibrahim, would you mind getting these guys out of here now, and I'll just stay back, keep them moving.
I'll lead them out. I'll take the lead and go.
Okay, so
outside the building.
They're military people, and so they understand how to move out of a room. And everybody except for Padragain and Lumi are out of the room within 10 or 15 seconds. Like, it doesn't take very long. And Padragain looks at you and Lumi and goes, "Holy shit, why'd you bring in a bunch of people?"
Because we have apparently we've got a job to explore some caves under Haifa, and this was safer or easier or more familiar place to travel through than Ava.
Okay. Iberkeet, I'll go ahead and take your D100 roll next. So as you're finishing up this sentence, there's a wavering to there's a wavering to the air, and the room is filled with the next group of people, and they like arrive and start vomiting. Just everywhere. Like completely uncontrolled. Like if you've ever had like food sickness where you think you're fine and then you can't make it to a toilet because the food has to get out of you so urgently that you like, it's just reflex, right? That sort of vomiting.
Yeah, and Lumi will just pipe up and right. Up truck, up head, move out.
They are much less organized. But the last one of them is dry heaving as she is leaving the room. And I would like one more D100 roll, please.
I'll tell the military to wait in front of the office while I'll go look for our leaders. Probably at the Griffin.
A 3.
That's crazy.
You just had to beat a 5. Okay. So, a minute passes. And then 5 minutes pass. And then 10 minutes pass. And there is a scream. And then a very wet sound. And Padragain, like, leaps out of her skin as a just wrecked Iris arrives on the floor of this room. Her skin is rent, but not as a blade, but as like physical tearing. And she like stumbles out of the circle, collapses upon the ground, and is still.
Third level cure wounds.
Whoa.
You touch her shoulder, and there is a deep gasp of air, and she begins breathing again. And you realize that she was on the threshold of death. And she just...
Welcome back to the land of the living.
What you is... Oh... is... Where...
You're in Miiva, and I'm guessing you're what's left of the last group. Seems there was a magical mishap.
Shouldn't be... And she, like, passes out.
Padragain, would you kindly get some medics and some people?
Yeah. Right away. Just make sure she doesn't die, and I'll be right. And she's gone. Cryor, as you head into town, it's not very much effort to find, it's not very much
Amari?
effort to find. Oh shoot! What is his name? I'm sorry, their name. The
You
guard.
mean Amari?
Amari, thank you. One day I'll remember NPCs' names. Today is not that day. It's not very much effort to find Amari, and Amari sees you and goes, "Oh, welcome back. Is everything okay?" And he notices where you came from, and goes, teleportation circle?
Yep.
Is Zari here? And he sees Zari, like, coming around the street behind you, and just stops talking to you and runs up to her.
We don't... okay.
And they leap into her arms, and it just a hug. Just, like, fully embraced hug. And yeah. Zari kind of starts filling Amari in as she's hugging them and kind of swinging them around. And they're like, okay, put me down. I'll go meet them in the. And about this time, Padragain comes running out, screaming for healers. Risha, Berold, Eberkeet, what were you guys up to?
When we went through in the first circle,
Yep.
the first group, and we moved out of the way to make space, right?
Yep. So this is a 2-story building. The upper story is full of like office type spaces that look mostly unoccupied. There is a guard station in the hallway just outside of the teleportation room. The downstairs is more of a like public office space with like wide stairs and a big front desk, and several side rooms that look like they're generally occupied.
I would think that this being new to Berold, he would want to watch the goings on because he experienced it but didn't get to see it. So if he's able to witness,
So you
The
witnessed,
vamping?
you witnessed the second group coming out vomiting, and then the collapse of Iris as she came out of the circle.
Risha walks up and does something nobody expects.
That absolutely is something nobody expects. Padgegane, of course, has gone past you at this point. It's Iris breathes a little easier once you cast Cure Wounds on her as well. She's still unconscious, but you can see the wounds knitting themselves closed. And Risha and Lumi, could I get a perception check, please, from both of you? Lumi, please join me in the sideboard channel. So, as you cast healing on her with that 31 perception,
There we go.
you would notice that she has both entirely too many teeth, and knowing transforming like you do, you think the only reason she didn't become a dragon was because the dragon form was too big for this space. And you very likely saved her life by doing this, because without being able to change into the dragon, she would have died as a human. Make sense?
Yeah.
You go ahead. Do you have any more questions? Because that's a natural 20, so I want to reward that. So anything else you want to learn from her in this moment of healing?
Not unless I could, as touching her could gleam any sort of indication on her dragon color, dragon type. by
Sure. With a
means of temperature and or
31, yes, you all absolutely would have seen several patches of green scales, like forming and then disappearing as you cast healing on her.
yeah, okay. It's nothing more comes to mind. I'm just laughing my ass off in real life because you call for perception checks, and of course I managed to go a 31.
Uh-huh. All right, let's go ahead and hit back.
I'm not even sure why you asked me to roll them anymore.
Because you can get a natural 20 or you can get a 1.
A 1 is still a 12.
Right. All right. All right.
oh, never mind.
So on Iberkeet.
Yeah. Yep.
What were you up to?
I don't know.
Okay, just kind of standing around then. So
Yeah.
you would have witnessed the same thing then.
Is it? I was sharing that. Would it be possible for Beryl to run up and also cast Cure Wounds after the others? Or is that?
Absolutely. Roll your Cure Wounds and then give me a perception check, please.
And I'll cast it at level 1, I guess. What does it matter? Or
If you cast it at a higher level, you can only cast level 2 because you're a ranger. But if you cast it at a higher level, you basically add more dice to the healing.
let's do it. and then a
Perception check.
perception check. Come on, Mia. There it is.
10. Okay. She feels like so it was Lumi saving her from like not breathing anymore. And then Risha walks up and heals her, which feels weird for Risha, but Risha be Risha. And then you walk up and heal her again, and with the third healing, she like eyes snap open. She's staring up at you, but she's like it's obviously that she's not looking at you, Barreled. She's like her eyes are staring up past you, and like she has that 1,000-yard stare. But she's breathing easily. She still has pretty significant wounds. But they are definitely no longer bleeding.
Lumi will do the wave hand next to Barrel's face, the in field of vision, and try to focus the 1,000-yard stare to a 1-yard stare.
You mean Iris's face?
No, wave hands above near Barrel's face because I see where eyes are pointing. So wave hand, kind of like make movement happen.
Right. and Iris like focuses on your hand, Lumi. About this time, Amari and Zari come charging up the stairs. The people who are in the second group are still dry heaving, and the people in the third group seem to have mostly been the people in the normal clothing and the people with shields and maces and similar. On focusing, just she takes a deep breath, goes, "There's something wrong with your teleportation circle, because that shouldn't have happened."
Ibrikit, got any idea why the teleportation circle might be wrong?
Arcana.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
A 20. So this teleportation circle is on the west side of a giant pillar of iron that is flowing into the atmosphere. And the originating teleportation circle was on the east side of a giant pillar of iron that is flowing into the atmosphere. And you're pretty sure that it shouldn't have caused what happened to Iris and her crew, except if they got really unlucky. And there's another flash in the room and another very wet sound, and Padraign peeks into the room and then quickly leaves. Like she just is white, as pale as a sheet, and just like not talking, shoving her way out of this place. And Iris goes, "Oh no," and sits up, grabs a hold of your hand, Lumi, to kind of like help herself up, and looks into the room, and just like her whole demeanor like falls.
I also looking. What do I see?
Meat, viscera,
Ugh.
bones, but it's like no big pieces.
Like a big pile of 20-ish people
Call
in bits and pieces?
15-ish people, but like they've been run through an industrial meat grinder. including their bones.
Yep.
So is this the entire group of normal clothing people and the 5 wearing breastplate and shield and maces?
There are 2 that came in the second group of normal clothing wearing people.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Amari looks in and goes, I'm so sorry. I don't
Let me just size.
think we
looks
can
out.
identify them, but
Best make room at the cemetery.
he nods.
Are we expecting any more to come through, or is this everybody?
Iris shakes her head and goes, I was with the last group. And that looks like enough. Stuff. Enough. That looks like enough. There's like bits of cloth. Bits of metal. And Amari closes the door and says, we will if you can to Iris, he goes, you can, if you want to take care of the remains, or if you would prefer my people, we can take care of the remains for you. We will treat them with ultimate respect. And I am sorry to say that welcome to Miiva. I am sorry that you have arrived this way. And she stares off kind of into the middle distance and goes, I will not be using your teleportation circle again. And then she composes herself and goes over to the groups who the middle group have kind of composed themselves. They're looking very pale as well because they've heard what has been going on. And she starts organizing them, and a couple of people come up. You recognize them, those of you who lived here, as budding clerics, people who had come to town who have some level of knowledge of casting clerical spells. And Amari basically organizes them and tells them, points out to these new arrivals, hey, take them to, this building. They can stay there for as long as they need to, and that sort of thing. Make sure they're set up with how to get food, and that's the sort of organization. And starts leading Iris and the crew away. Padragain is just giant eyes at the top of the stairs, staring at you all, but definitely staring at the closed office door. And there's just
Lumi will find Edward.
There's just kind of a the back of her throat just kind of makes a pained sound. And as Lumi gathers himself up to go find Edvard, and as the troop from Volley is led to a place to stay, and the rest of you do get yourself back into town, we will go ahead and end there for the session. So thank you to the players for playing. Thank you to everybody for watching. It has been wonderful having you here.